Hello to you, my beautiful fellow human. Welcome to my channel, our channel. Thank you for joining me. And I usually don't do this, but I have a small ask to make. There's a button. I don't know where it is. Somewhere down there or up there. I don't know. Then there's this bell icon. I need you to hit that button. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Basically what I'm asking is that you subscribe to this channel, to our channel, so that it can reach a wider audience. And with that being said, I don't have anything specific in mind today, although I did want to talk a little about my book. More specifically, the origins of it, how it came to be. Because if I were to be honest, I wasn't planning. I never planned to write this book. The contents of this book were not meant to be a book. I was basically journaling for my own self, for a later time, just in case I needed a map, so to speak, to get back to myself, because I guess you could say I was going through a dark time, alone. For some reason, I just found myself sitting in it. I didn't want any disturbances, so to speak. Some things we just have to face alone. Because some things we give life to, the demons that plague us, need to be confronted and tamed by us, because we created them after all. And so this book is basically, it was basically for the reason of going back to the things which helped me, which propelled me within this dark period, and eventually showed me the light. Certain mental adjustments, attitude adjustments, which made the biggest difference. It's the smallest things which often make the biggest difference. The small things which we overlook, as I often say, because there's so much truth in that. And I am living proof of that. Although I guess you could say the content within these pages wasn't anything new to me, but I just came to, or I got to a point of experiencing myself in such a way that allowed me more awareness, not only about myself, but awareness of the things which affected me in any way. I came to see how I was interacting with the world, and how that would affect me how I interacted with the world differed depending on the situation, but there was always some constant, or rather should I say consistent, themes, so to speak. Like like particular things which always bear the same results, and those are the things which are jotted down just in case I were to forget those things. Then as time went by, those things, those ideas allowed me to experience myself beyond the ideas. So basically, the contents within this book changed my belief system because I was very intentional and deliberate and disciplined in the way I was applying these changes, if I may. And it took me a while, but the perseverance which I exercised proved to be worth it. Very much so, because like the title of the book suggests, I basically found myself. And this self is not some idea. This self is the experience of life unfiltered. Of course, we've created many layers within ourselves. The contents within this book will help you break down at least most of those layers, and then from that point, it's like the avalanche will find its own motion, so to speak. The river will propel you further. But this could be the beginning for you. It most certainly was for me. Of course, you have a choice. You might be fine with the identity which you've formed for yourself. You might be fine with it, but my question to you is, are you content with it? Or do you still need things outside of yourself to help you feel whole? Because that short-lived sensation of wholeness, which is actually instant gratification, won't sustain you. It will only build a habit within you, a habit of chasing things outside of you, looking for yourself in those things, looking for validation so that you feel worthy, looking to gain power so that you feel important. You will basically do things, maybe right things, for the wrong reasons. And this guide right here will most likely help you avoid most things which should be avoided. And now I'm having this idea that maybe I should read one chapter. Although there's a whole lot of favorites of mine in here. There's a whole lot of chapters that I like. very much. And so I'm having a very hard time being decisive right now. Okay, let me look for a short chapter. This one is a bit long. Okay, I think I found a short one. This one is titled The Act of Love, Chapter 21. Establish yourself before acting so that you don't lose yourself to the act. This is the essence of what we refer to as detachment. Keeping that in mind, the effect, whether positive or negative, of losing yourself to the act is actually quite relative, meaning losing yourself to the act can also be positive, constructive, within brackets, given you lose yourself to the act by selflessly serving the act. In simple terms, by not getting yourself attached to outcomes or byproducts of any act in question. And also, again, the nature of the act will determine whether you lose yourself to the act or not. For some acts will align you with your highest, truest self, while others may go against what's true of you. Establishing oneself is, in a sense, the point of neutrality, the state of openness which leaves one susceptible either to the process of growth given one stays open or neutral, or the pit of gradual destruction which comes as a result of closing oneself off, automatically not establishing the self. Establishing the self makes for maximum awareness of the act, which allows one more possibility or opportunity to derive the most benefit from any particular act. Of course, given that the act is a selfless act, an act of pure love, meaning the process of the act is then the main focus without any attachment to the fruits, as opposed to acting purely for results, which essentially means acting from a place of non-establishment. Consider for a second all the nasty, immoral things people do for the sake of personal gain. Well, that's the power of attachment at play. The force capable of compelling one to act in ways which he or she, in a neutral, natural state of being, wouldn't even consider. Not even for a second. It's funny that this is the chapter that I ended up reading for y'all guys, because the essence of this chapter is the reason why I make these videos, now that I think about it. You know, for the longest time, I wished I could have a community or be a part of a community which was all about growth. I mean, I used to have friends, and because they were not really about growth, they were about the familiar things. I eventually outgrew them, I guess, because I knew there's more to life than what we are used to. There's more to be experienced as ourselves, and not necessarily outside of ourselves, but the experience happening within the self, as the self. That's to say, the quality of experience enhancing. But that can only happen if we enhance consciously, if our consciousness expands. And this book can most certainly help you get there. With that being said, my beautiful friends, love and light.